Tuesday, March 24th. Very interesting day in the stock market. Currently up somewhere in S&P about 7%, been as high as 10%. I personally bought some Google and Apple yesterday, sold it today. Don't want it at these higher prices right now. So I took my profits and I'll enjoy that part of it. I'm a bit puzzled when I saw the market gapping up this morning. I figured it was the shorts covering their short sales, and that was creating the volatility. If you saw my video yesterday or this morning, you heard about how hedge funds are manipulating the market through both short selling and through algorithmic trading, which created quite the problem. I also read that there are some hedge funds that are bragging they're in a positive position now. So they are manipulating the market. I don't think it makes a lot of sense that we're hearing that the United States is possibly going to become the epicenter of this virus. We just heard today that India is shutting India down for a period of time. So this is not the end of it. I think it's very positive that the federal government is stepping up and saying that it looks like Congress is going to get their act together and they are going to allocate this $1.5 million to help the whole realm, whether it be business, large businesses, small businesses, individuals. My only question is, I know how the bureaucracy of our government handled Katrina. I know how they've recently handled, Puerto Rico. I think they're still having issues down in Houston from the floods. They aren't the best at doing this. I look at the people who show up on the stage every evening to tell us how things are going, and I've noticed the small doctor, I don't know his name, has disappeared from the stage, and I think he was the sharpest knife up there. But I'm not real confident that this surge in the S&P up 7% is the right thing. I think we're trading within a channel. I think we have more downside pressure than we have upside pressure, and I don't think we're through this. I thought it was interesting in the Wall Street Journal today on my online. I saw a piece that I want to pat myself on the back on, and here it is. I thought this was kind of funny. I came across this in the Wall Street Journal today and pulled it up on my computer, and it's Amazon's basis and other corporate executives sold shares just in time. If you remember, I did a video on this, and on February the 9th, I believe it was, where it was not just Jeff, but his ex-wife also sold substantial amount of stock. And at the time, I said, Jeff knows what's going to happen, just like I know what's going to happen. This market is artificially high. The article goes on to say that a total of 9.2 billion in shares were sold by numerous executives in February, and they're not really saying these folks knew what was going to come and happen, but they are saying that maybe they had an inkling. Bezos sold a total of 3.4 billion in stock, which was a bit above what he normally did. They also then go on to say that this is a chart of Amazon, that there are a number of senators who were briefed in late February about the coronavirus, and they went and sold some stock. And put themselves in a favorable position as a result of it. I can't say that I blame them. This is one that's interesting. Mr. Merlin announced that he was leaving MGM and on a timely basis in February and he sold a sizable share of his stock, and we all know what happened to the hotel companies, and particularly those out in Las Vegas. So, again, I got to pat myself on the back. I told you about this on February the 9th. Those of you who paid heed possibly got out of the market just in time. So we know that there are people who are smarter than us. We know that there are people, Warren Buffett came out and said, this is wrong, the market isn't working right. And he did this back in December, I believe it was. And he said, when there are things that aren't working, they will normally break down. Well, they did. And if you'll get that Wall Street Journal article, you're going to see that Jeff Bezos isn't the only one. There's just a long line of very bright people who knew this market was going to collapse. They didn't know about the virus. Now, some of the senators, yeah, they knew about the virus, and yeah, they jumped in and cashed out and took advantage of their insider trading, I guess you would call it. But that's normal. That's the world we live in, and that's why these people work for $150,000 a year, so that they get inside information. So that's where I'm at on the market. As I say, I liquidated. I'm back to full cash, and I just believe that you need to invest in companies that have a strong balance sheet, that are showing a profit. If you go and you see PE ratio and it's 0, that means they have no profits. That's price to earnings. That means they have no earnings. So avoid those. I saw a very glowing piece on Uber today on CNBC that Uber was just a fantastic, strong company. They haven't made any money yet, and they openly say they won't make any money until they get rid of the drivers and they have autonomous automobiles. There's a lot safer places to invest than that. What they have is an app, and they have a network of drivers who have no loyalty to them. I get in their cars and they have both the Uber and the Lyft thing. If Amazon wants to get into that business, they'll all switch to Amazon. So be smart about what you invest in. Get into their financials and buy a stock the same way you'd buy a car. If somebody came to you and said, hey, I've got this company and we've got these wonderful plans, you'd ask them, how much money are you making? Well, we aren't making any money right now. Well, how are you paying your bills? Well, we're borrowing money to pay our bills. And we're attracting investors like you to put their hard-earned money in and invest in us until we do make some money. Well, what kind of guarantee you got that they're going to? You don't. You don't have a guarantee. But you do in other stocks. So do your research. You owe it, because you're playing against professionals. And I'll guarantee you they do their research.